today we have a reading for you about somebody who had mistaken how much value their connection with you really offered. And I do feel like it's been a pattern for them to stay up and think about you at night. And I also feel like last night in particular, this is a timeless reading, so whenever it is that you watch this, they really did feel like it was particularly difficult to get through last night without you. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of Winchenta. And I hope you're having a good day so far. Happy New Year's if you're watching this the day I posted. And if you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. I do kind of feel like I need to light one more candle. Oh, let's do this one. I think this one is lavender. Yeah. It's just a little dark in here. Okay. I think we need to start with, we're going to start with the Earth and Bones Tarot. All right, what else do we have about this person who is missing you? What else do we have? The Empress, and the Ace of Jars or Ace of Cups in the reverse. They feel rejected by you. And the Tower in the reverse is not shocking. Sorry, there's like a hair stuck to my mouth. This is about a change in how they see the love, the opportunity, the longevity, who you are as a person. They might have been trying to kind of underestimate that in order to limit themselves emotionally. Hello, Ruhio. How are you doing? Hello, Skemmy. What's up? Hold on. I gotta see if, yeah, I think it was on a dim setting for my screen. So this is somebody who now is accepting that perhaps they keep thinking about you or miss you because you are actually quite important to them. Remember, the Empress does not need to be a commentary on gender. This is just talking about how they view you as a very loving person, someone who had been more comfortable with those emotions you felt than they had been with theirs. But now we have this High Priestess, Two of Cups. Even though we haven't been in contact, or even though we went through that breakup, there's still love, and I still have this hope that we'll be able to find a way to make it work. What else do we have? Hello, Benjamin. Hello, Bruno. Happy New Year. It's going well. How are you? Temperance in the reverse. They feel like you look at them as someone that you used to be interested in, but you have accepted that there's a block. You have accepted that it's not going to work out. So perhaps they feel like you have moved on. With this Ace of Wands, you could be focused on new energy. And with the 10 of Petals or 10 of Pentacles, there could also be something here about your having a little bit of a glow up. Could also be that this is someone who's thinking about a long-term relationship, especially now that we have the Four of Wands coming out. Maybe I hid from my emotions or didn't want to admit how deeply I felt for you, but because I'm starting to understand our connection and be more honest with myself about those feelings, now I'm thinking about what could be in 5, 10, 20, 30 years if I were to get close to you. Hello, Minnesota Picker. How are you doing? Happy New Year. 7 of Jars or 7 of Cups in the reverse. Five of Petals or Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Oh, they're coming back, but they know if they come back, they have to be, like, they have to demonstrate that they're comfortable with those emotions, or you will still see them as Temperance in the reverse. Someone that it's like oil and water. It just doesn't work out. They have to demonstrate that they've been working on the things that caused the block between the two of you in the past. So they do have awareness on that front. Ah, there's the Emperor. So they feel if you are the Empress, if you are comfortable with that emotional side, they have to be not just comfortable with that emotional side as well. They also have to be the one to initiate or take action towards this connection, like the ball's in their court, right? They have the responsibility. Good morning, Third Eye. How are you doing? How's it going, Skull? I hope it was a good conversation. Hello, Mike. Eight of Jars in the reverse, Eight of Cups in the reverse. This is somebody who's coming back, which is in line with the Five of Pentacles. This is like no contact ending. I just can't take it anymore. I keep thinking about you, and I've been working on some things, so I feel like I actually like could have a genuine conversation and show you that I see things differently. The Hanged Man is somebody who has been enlightened. Now I get it. So will you let me show you that I get it? Can I talk to you, or are you, like, have you already moved on? Are you already talking to someone new, or have you, like, lost your emotions for me? That kind of thing. Ace of Wands in the reverse, Five of Wands in the reverse, the Hierophant. Whoever I'm reading for, I don't feel like you're really interested or investing in a new person. Maybe you had at some point, maybe you're open to it, but I feel like you have some pretty strict rules, right? Like, this is what I want, this is what I'll pursue. They might have assumed you were with someone when you weren't, because, like, especially if it was before they had done a lot of this work on themselves. Because that's the easiest assumption, right? If you have a breakup and somebody is not chasing, I think a lot of folks, especially those who maybe are a little bit less progressed on that journey, they're going to assume, oh, so you just like find someone new and now you can forget about me, right? Like that's not the only way you can get over somebody, you know? But I feel like I'm going to call you the Hierophant. And you've also come through as the Empress. You have something that others don't necessarily gain easily as far as wisdom in who you allow in your inner circle and who you pursue. When you saw this inability to be comfortable with emotions, the King of Cups in the reverse, you knew that that meant this was not going to be a good opportunity for love, because how can you be happy in a romantic relationship if you don't know how to process, like, receive or show those feelings, right? I agree. Some would say it's cliche, Mike, but I agree. So we have the Moon in the reverse and the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Is this how the Hierophant sees them? Oh. So you would know who this is because they have learned these unhealthy or toxic, like, approaches to love from friends or family. I don't feel this person has a lot of trustworthy people in their life. You may have been the first person to show the King of Cups in the reverse what unconditional love is, which would explain why they see you as the Empress, which is why I'm not necessarily calling you that. I feel like the Hierophant is more how you see yourself, but don't get too caught up on the gender. This is just about the fact, in my opinion, this is about your loving energy and your respect for yourself. Yes, you have the ability to be very loving and nurturing and caring, but you're not going to offer that, at least not anymore, to people who are unwilling to understand the right way to appreciate that connection. You're not just going to be a doormat, right? Maybe 10 years ago you were. Not anymore. And that could be inspirational for someone who seems to have had a lot of toxic relationships, whether they were family or platonic, you know? Thank you, Skull. And it's technically more than a skull, but there you go. You'd probably like that too. Hey, first round. I don't know if you're making any assumptions about people's beliefs, but I would just encourage you to be tolerant in the live chat. You might get bounced from the live chat if you're coming across as judgmental, but you believe you get gifts from God, right? So there you go. Hello, Just That. How are you doing? Hello, Baker. Thank you. We have the Three of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. I know that I self-sabotage or that I didn't want to let you too close. Maybe this person was trying to keep you in like the friend zone. Maybe this person was just unwilling to be exclusive. Maybe they were picking fights with you or choosing their friends or family and like prioritizing them over getting to know you better or being there for you. Whatever it was, I do think there's accountability here, ownership over what they did to cause the rift between the two of you. I know that was me. I'm the problem. So therefore, I have to be the one to come back around to make things right. Therefore, I have to be the one to say, let's make amends, and probably also indicate that I've learned from that situation, i.e. I'm not going to be repeating those patterns, right? An apology is real great. You know, the words, they're so pretty. But actions, that's where it's really at. If you can apologize and then there's changed behavior, that's like the 1-2 punch, right? It's a very effective combo. Hello, Nat. How are you doing? Happy New Year. Okay, that's fair. Yes, I agree with that. We have the Eight of Cups, the Chariot in the reverse, and the Lovers. So I walked away and felt like I would be able to move on or let you go, not have to think about it, or, you know, just kind of relegate you to the list of other people that nothing really worked out with. But there's something here about you that is very different. Again, they see you as one of the most loving cards in the tarot deck. So this is like, I can't forget about that person that I felt like I could actually trust. I can't forget about the person who made me feel loved for who I really am. They're struggling because this is not a connection that they had previously encountered, and they were a little bit naive, thinking they could handle things with you the same way they had with others. So with the Chariot in the reverse, I think they're acknowledging that's what the problem was I wasn't really willing to admit to myself how much I really wanted you to be in my life, how important you had become to me. All right, this is the Tarot of the Nile. I do thank you. Queen of Pentacles, Page of Wands in the reverse, Queen of Cups in the reverse. I know that since we haven't been speaking, you probably still see me the way that I was when we last spoke. You probably see me as the Queen of Cups in the reverse, somebody who doesn't know how to love or be loved, or someone who even came through as emotionally manipulative. Maybe there was even a little bit of gaslighting here. To protect myself would have been the justification for that, right? But since we have been in no contact, I have worked on myself because I want to be the kind of person that could be in a committed relationship, because I want to be that person for you. So motivation or inspiration to become more comfortable with commitment and loving someone, letting go of the fear. This is something that had not previously been a focus for them that now seems to be like assigned homework. Wait, why are we talking about Minnesota? Is it because you're calling Minnesota Picker that? I just get excited when I see Minnesota. Hello, Neha. Was that how I was supposed to say it? I think I said it right. I hope you're doing well. Did I say hello to Rick? What's going on? Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. That goes a long way. So we have the Page of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, clarifying the Eight of Cups, and the King of Wands. So not only has this person been working on like stability in their own life, as well as like, I feel like self-awareness and self-monitoring has also been something that has been important for this person, because how can you really be in touch with or have control over your emotions unless you are monitoring them, right? Hey, how am I feeling today? Why am I being such a jerk? Oh, is it because I'm feeling rejected? Maybe I should like recalibrate and stop being mean to people who work in like a restaurant or a bar or a grocery store, and own those feelings and process them in a more mature way. This is what's happening to this person. It seems like manual, right? Like I have to think about it differently. It doesn't come automatically to me, but I know I need to change that because it had made things difficult in the past when I wanted to be with you. So with this King of Wands, this is someone feeling like I've gotten to the point now where I feel like I've addressed so many of those things that were blocking us that maybe it really is time for me to consider like talking to you. King of Wands is a person of action. Because if I don't take action after I've been working on myself, then I will regret not doing so. I will wonder what would have happened if I had expressed my love or said, you know what, I still think about you, I still want to be with you. Hello, Mark. Yeah, sometimes we're overly critical of ourselves, aren't we? Oops. Thank you, Nat. Let me write that down for you. A few cards on life purpose. I've got that for you. Thank you, Nat. What else do we have? Ten of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, the World, and the Reverse. Being without you has been insufferable. And I feel this is coming from a person who has been generally quite independent, but every time they try to get back into that independent, focused on like whatever else is going on energy, they keep thinking back on this world in the reverse, that unfinished business. Like, maybe I just need to tell this person what happened so I can feel better about it. But maybe I also just need to tell them how I feel, because if there's any chance that they would, you know, hear me out and be interested, I want to know about that. Hello, Jasmine. I offer private readings via email that start at $40 USD. Otherwise, in the live stream, usually about 30 or 35 minutes in, which is about 10 minutes from now. I do personal questions for tips. You can see Stephanie just did one. Thank you, Stephanie. And I write a little list, and I do those after the general reading. So Stephanie, I'm gonna write down your name, and I was gonna say, you're usually pretty good about being the next comment. Where will my connection with C be in 2026? Crazy to think we're already there, isn't it? Will he finally take off his mask? Or move on? All right. Thank you, Stephanie. Hello, Universal. How you doing? What else do we have? Two of Cups. Eight of Swords in the reverse. The Tower in the reverse. I'm proud of this person. I feel like this is someone who's actually embracing, like, they're not just saying they understand the connection. They actually do. They had the High Priestess come out. It's clarifying what made things collapse. Well, I sabotaged something. I was nervous because the feelings were a little bit overwhelming. I wasn't really accustomed to someone who works or deals in unconditional love. So I had to regroup. They have had an actual like change of heart. They see themselves differently and they see you differently as a result. So I feel like for those of you that are actually, like, if this person has done the work, you're interested in seeing where things could go, your intuition will show you that they have been putting in this work. For those of you who are, you're like, well, good work. I'm really glad that you were able to, like, you know, deal with those things, but sorry, I'm already like out of town, you know, over it. Sometimes that's how it goes. But it will, if someone inspires or motivates you to work on yourself and you're able to deal, like, remove blockages from your life because you love that person, even if they reject you after you've done all that work, you're still winning. You still worked on yourself. You're still in a better place. And you're going to attract a different type of love because of that work that you did. So it's like, yeah, it could be considered a loss if this person doesn't get to, you know, reconnect with the Hierophant Empress energy. But they also feel like it's worth it in the long run because these are things that I really needed to work on, right? Hello, Valinda. How are you doing? All right, let's get a few from The Truth Is. Yeah, we all have a little bit of that, right? But we also, I think, all crave the ability to be fully, like, comfortable with someone and not have to avoid that. Oh my gosh, are we switching over to corn now? Oh Lord. Yeah. That's one of my favorites. Hello, Holy Ghost. How are you doing? Happy New Year to you. So we have this Empress Hierophant energy who said basically, I don't think you know really how to process the emotions here, or you're not really showing me that you care. So if that's how it is, then I need to, you know, probably just move on. And I do feel there was a little disappointment here. Like, I thought you were going to chase me. But they have toxic energy, like, all over their past. This could be someone who conflated love and lust, you know, kind of keeping things simple in their mind. I'm going to, you know, ignore emotions and just focus on how attractive this person is, or try to make it seem like there wasn't any actual expectations of them because it was just a flirtation or a physical attraction, right? Of course I understood, third eye. And, you know, some people probably don't like corn, but that's all right. Got the Life's another good one. Dying love, the conclusion of this connection is approaching. caught in a compromising position. Because of the conflation or the misunderstanding, right? Like, I don't know what love really is. I thought it was just when I had really good naked times with people. Turns out it's more complicated than that. This could be somebody who, after things ended, felt like they needed to connect physically with others to try to find or like chase that feeling in other people. But you can't just like DoorDash unconditional love. Yeah, you can't just like find it at 6:00 p.m. on Tinder and then enjoy cuddling with that person 8 hours or 2 hours later, you know what I mean? And like, why 8? This is like someone who just didn't understand the depth that love could go to, because all they'd ever seen was people who, I would guess, kind of look at love as a way they can get what they want. Thank you, Skimmy. The general reading, was that about my ex or was it meant for someone else? And I've added that for you, and hopefully we get the answer that you are looking for. Yes, of course, Baby Yoda. How are you doing? Let's switch to Lenormand, shall we? This is the Golden Lenormand. What else do we have? Oh, that was a challenge. The Anchor, number 35. And the Woman. This is that divine feminine energy, right? Also known as the Hierophant in this reading. So we have somebody who feels like they started to crave a different life. They wanted to have more of like a reliable companion as opposed to a revolving door of unreliable, untrustworthy companions. Be so proud of me right there, because I could have made a pun and I did not, or a joke. Very inappropriate. I didn't do it. Maybe you still know what I was going to say. Look, this is saying because of the love that someone showed me, that unconditional love with this Hierophant Empress energy, it has taught me the value of making sure that I have things sorted in my own life so that I'm ready to accept that kind of love and also return it, nurture it, you know, instead of go, ah, and run away, you know? Yes, it is. We've got good news with the Fish and the Tree. I think when you have this conversation, you're going to notice that this person from your past who was terrified of love and quite often sabotaging relationships has developed their mental and emotional maturity in this absence between the two of you. Maybe they're not perfect. Maybe they still got little things. Everybody got things to work on, right? But this is someone who's going to, I think, kind of shock you with the different way they see things, maybe perhaps the different way that they speak to you. Maybe they never really wanted to apologize in the past, and that's how they start the conversation right out the gate. All right, let's get a few from the Overthinkers Oracle, and then we'll start the personal questions after that. Hello, Santiago. Or did I just say that? I can't remember. All right, what do we have? Player energy. Someone who dealt with some issues as far as that long-term energy, long-term relationship. They regret playing games with your heart. I feel terrible for ghosting you and not having the courage to say what needed to be said. Like, you know, there's a lot of movies out there dealing with the boldness and courage and virility needed to like fight battles a la Braveheart. No, I'm not like knocking those movies, but I think we also have to appreciate that sometimes courage isn't about like gore and battles and power. Sometimes it's about emotions. There are people who just like can't handle it. If you are able to exert control over your emotions and not let people, for example, make you lose your temper, you have power that people will envy. So work on that poker face, you know what I mean? This person was intimidated by you is my takeaway from that. I didn't know how to approach someone like you. The only way I knew how to do anything with this was like play games and be toxic. And you showed me that that was silly and immature. They might have been a little embarrassed at first. They felt like at the beginning everything was perfect because they were still able to like kind of mask or pretend that things were, you know, healthy. But they feel like playing games with your heart meant that they missed an opportunity to be with somebody who's actually willing to love them genuinely. Hello, how's it going? Is it Trilo? How are you? We've got please don't go. Won't you wait for me? And then we have blocked. Some of you are gonna be like, too little, too late. I'm sorry. It's not gonna be a thing. This person wants to tell you that when they tried to find a connection with someone else, whether that's just, you know, let's hang out for a night or let's, you know, get to know each other over a month, whatever it is, it was probably short term. This person was shocked at how different it is. You know, I always make some sort of food analogy with this. If you have, you know, imitation crab and then you have like real crab, you know, this person might have been used to eating some, you know, mid-grade stuff and then they got to eat, I don't know, Kobe beef, right? There's something here where they're like, how am I supposed to go back to like regular burgers? Like I got spoiled. It shows them kind of like how you would have been looking at them, the immature and toxic ways that people negotiate their emotions and feelings for other people, versus this Empress Hierophant who knows how to be direct and communicate those desires and, you know, have control over those emotions. Thank you, Baker. I'm going to add that to the list. Any good hopefully happening for me this year? And, oh, I'm so sorry you're going through that. Oh, no, please don't do that. You've got a lot of people in this live chat right now that would be very happy to be sending you some positive energy. Sending you a hug. And I do believe there's going to be good for you this year. We'll see what that good is. But if you all have the ability to send some caring energy, I would really appreciate that. Hello, Diesel. Hey, John, let's not make it about politics in my live chat, please, or you'll get bounced, okay? We got more important things going on right now. What else do we have? This person is not above using spells associated with naked time. And again, you're always on this person's mind. I think there is a little bit of desperation here. Now, this could be a reference to they tried to use that magic at the beginning before they decided they really just needed to do the work. For others of you, if they come back and they tell you they've been working on themselves and you still reject them or you leave them on red, they may feel like they need to resort to magic. Just warning you. dark attachments. So I feel like they have worked on themselves, but they also might be a little unprepared for, you know, like being lovesick. I'm really struggling over here. I got these things in my way. We're good. All right, let's switch to personal questions. We've got Nat up first. Then we've got Stephanie, and then Stemmy, and then Baker. Hello, Martz. How are you doing? So, what does Nat need to know about life purpose for Nat? Three of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. Heavy on the Earth energy, aside from the Queen of Cups, which I feel is your energy. There are people who need love. Now, this could be, you know, like offering good advice, even paying someone a compliment. I feel like you infuse loving energy where there is a void of it. It could even be like volunteering at a shelter or working at a food pantry. But I see there being a lot of, it's like bringing people back from hopelessness. People who feel like there's nothing else that they can work towards. I feel like you want to give them inspiration or a leg up. Remind them that they're not alone. And show them what could happen if they change. This could also be about rehab. But I do feel like you have the ability to get people to let go of more negative thoughts and work on themselves through your words. You deserve to be treated well. Hello, Grindhard. How are you doing? Yes, this is very much so. I would say this is like the second strongest card that came through. You have a very giving nature, and I feel like it is intoxicating for other people around you because then they want to like join you on this. So you might have a lot of success like inviting a friend to go along, volunteering or doing something. You bring people together to help each other. I do feel like the number 2 is really important, or a second location. So you may start like this purpose or this path and then take it elsewhere. It's like building a second branch, right? Like you start a bank or a coffee shop and you're doing so well that you can get a second location. But this is saying there's 2 main places where I see you connecting people and getting them to a happier, more fulfilled, like emotional space. Hello, Hot, how are you doing? Happy New Year. All right, let's see what we've got for Stephanie. Where will the connection go? Or where will the connection be with C in 2026? So there's 2 options, and it depends upon how C manages healing and emotions. But I do see there being a sense of curiosity, like maybe I should do this, maybe I should change that. There's introspection with the 5 of Wands in the reverse. there's still a possibility that things do not come back around with death. But if he is as invested as it's coming through, he's changing in a way that you would be able to reconnect or reconcile. Four of Swords, focus on healing. Six of Pentacles in the reverse, Five of Cups. He does view this as a loss. I feel like that's something that had a little bit of a delay. Like maybe I'm in denial, I tell myself everything's easier now, and then after a couple weeks, maybe after a couple months, now it's like, man, I should not have done that. So there's a crossroads right now. He has to make a decision. Do you want to actually work on this, or do you want to accept that it's done? Will he finally take off his mask? Yes, I think he knows that that is the requirement. Judgment and Queen of Wands. And I love that Anubis is in this card as well. I do feel like there's some good influence in his life, encouraging him to work on these things, take that mask off. There's like a hesitation. Sometimes people freak out. But with the Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, I do feel this is like, I have to choose, what do I want to be over? Do I want to lose Stephanie, or do I want to lose that kind of like era of my life and be a little bit more mature about it? But crossroads, Two of Swords, I have to make a choice, and if I make the right choice, then there's a possible reconciliation. All right, let's see what we've got for Skemi. We'll go with the Edgar Allan Poe. Was the general reading about my ex? And then I'll follow up and ask, or someone else. Sometimes it's about both, you know? Was the general reading about Skemi's ex? Yes, it was. We have the Four of Cups. I do feel like this particular ex is talking to somebody about their regrets regarding your connection. Does the general reading also apply to someone else? This is more like clarifying that there's parts of the general reading you should discard because they did not sound right, as is the case with most general readings, right? You have to take what resonates. So this is like, tone it down a notch. Like it's not this crazy. So what else does Skemi need to know about how that reading applies? Oh my. Oh no. I almost fell out of my chair for you. I hope you appreciate it. Two of Cups and the Queen of Swords. Yeah, so I feel like this is somebody who is trying to learn their lessons from a situation and realize that if you want to be in an actual like healthy connection, there cannot be a reliance upon wearing a mask or hiding certain things. But I do feel like there are some elements that need to be dropped from the general reading as they apply to this ex. It was, for the most part, about your ex. So is this saying that it's a little bit more positive? This is saying there's something... something out of place. Oh, it's energy that belongs to someone else. So something in that general reading, which was stringed together, this is one person. One of those things was actually another party in your situation. So don't give all of the accountability or issues to the ex. Let's see what we've got for Baker. what is the good news or the good stuff headed towards Baker in 2026, please? Thank you, Stephanie. Let me add that real quick. I got you. All right, so Baker, what is the good that's going to happen this year? Awareness, insight, intuition. Eight of Swords is in the reverse, which means that you are not blindfolded. Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Four of Wands. Your ability to have a better grasp on reality or know yourself better, perhaps even be more honest with yourself about those that are around you, initially causes loneliness. But it also enables, it's like the difficult exercise and commitment to a change in your lifestyle that then results in someone feeling like they're more fit, right? Or saving money, not going out as much or not spending as much so that you can afford a vacation. There's something here where it's like, yeah, it's been a little bit like towards the negative side, but I think this year is going to be much better for you. We have Queen of Wands in the reverse, Strength. Chariot in the reverse, Nine of Swords in the reverse. So insecurity or even a sense of people not really rooting for you, there's a change on this front. Now, I think first and foremost, you are getting better at accepting that you're not in charge of how other people view you. You can do you have to be who you are and try to be it consistently. But if someone doesn't like you for something that you are innately, that's their problem. It is not your responsibility to be what they're looking for. I feel like there's a greater embrace of who you are, even if it is not what somebody in your family or, what somebody you used to love would want for you. You're like, well, this is how it is, right? Chariot in the reverse, Nine of Swords in the reverse. I see some assistance, unexpected assistance with the Nine of Swords in the reverse coming to you regarding a block in your road. What is this Chariot in the reverse? This could be like a car issue or just general like lack of motivation. Hey James, how are you doing? Let me know if you want me to pull a few cards for you. That's brilliant advice, Nat. Oh, we don't need that kind of energy in here. I hope you have a great new year anyways. Oh, I sure hope you will, James. I'm rooting for it anyways. Yes. It is. All right. So, Baker, the other thing to keep in mind is there is a warning here with regards to taking too long to make a decision that you know you need to make. This could be like cutting someone out of your life or quitting smoking cigarettes, something like that. This is like you're able to improve things for yourself by being decisive and making this decision early on in the year because it helps you from a financial and a healing point of view. So do not dilly-dally on some sort of decision that I think would likely save you money but would also make you feel better. Do that as soon as you can. Oh, thank you again, James. Hello, Andrea. James, let me know if you have another question. We got into an argument last Thursday. Oh, I'm so sorry. What a bad day for that. Current energy. With Leo. I got you, Andrea. Did I say hello to Rachel? I hope I did. Hello, Bestie Tiana. How are you doing? So Baker, I'm sending you healing energy and a big ol' hug, and I hope your day is amazing, and as well as your year. I do feel like there's magic here that has shown up for you that was avoiding you in years past. So as long as you can be cognizant of that and then leverage it for what you need to do in your life, I think a lot of that has to do with accepting that some people just aren't going to like you, and that's okay. You're still awesome. I see things improving for you, especially with the Star card clarifying the Strength card. So thank you to everyone who sent positive healing energy towards Baker. I appreciate when you all look out for each other. It means a lot to me. I got you. I added that, Andrea. Hello, Hunter. How are you doing? Hello, Raziel. What's up? Hello, Jessica. All right, so we've got Stephanie's question. How to revive dating life in 2026? 10 of Cups in the reverse. The Moon. The Four of Swords. I see you going somewhere for a little rest and rejuvenation, maybe with a close friend, maybe even by yourself. But I see there being some travel or some uncharacteristic socialized opportunities, whether it's, you're going to a wedding or you're going to, study somewhere for a little while. Oh, I sure hope so, Baker. Will harassment stop? I've added that for you. Thank you. I was reading that at the same time, Tiana. Good Lord. All right. What else do we have for Stephanie, please? We've got the Ace of Swords in the reverse. I feel like there is a release or forgiveness happening where you let go of someone who has been dishonest with you or refused to tell you what happened. When you let go of that and you accept that that's just like maybe for the best, even if there is a chance of that coming back around, the mere idea that you're willing to let that go, it draws in new energy for you. It draws in fresh, I don't want to say fresh meat. It's like it reinvigorates that dating option for you because it's like you've been telling the universe that you only kind of want something new. And the universe is like, could you make up your mind, please? We don't really know what you want. Do you want that person from the past or you want somebody new? Like, we need to know. Just mark the box right here and we'll do that for you. But with the Knight of Wands in the reverse, it's looking like there's been kind of switch, well, now I want this. No, I think I want that person back. You got to make a decision. And I feel like that decision is to accept that that person from the past may not work out. And if that's true, and if somebody else comes through and they're amazing, then you're going to be like, woo, all right, that's what I want. Let's do this. Instead of, oh, but maybe I want that person from the past. It'd be like if you're at a restaurant and you're trying to decide between like the steak and the lobster mac and cheese. This is going to make me hungry. Dang it, why did I do this to myself? And you tell the dude, who's taking your order, lobster mac and cheese, and they're, then taking everybody else's order, and then you change your mind. You make them take the whole order with now like medium rare and the sides and everything, and you go back and forth. They're going to get irritated with you. The universe is a little irritated with you because you won't decide, do you want new, do you want old? So when you let that person go or accept that maybe there's someone amazing for you in the future, the universe is like, bet, okay, now we got your order, and now we can actually like deliver it to the kitchen, and that will work for you. I like that, Tiana. I believe in you, Stephanie. I think you got some good things coming your way. It just requires acknowledging that if something was a little bit of a heartache or a heartbreak, If you are able to see what else is out there, it might be good for you. And you might still get that person back, but you have to accept that you might not. So let's see what we've got for James. James, I'm sending you a big old hug. Be good to yourself. This is the Marseille Cat Tarot. James wants to know, will I make it through 2026? There's an opportunity for you to see something different that changes your path in 2026. It is dependent upon this, and I do feel like it is also dependent upon the associations that you have with others changing. There's someone here who creates more chaos in your life than you're willing to admit. Someone who might be very secretive or not, disclose what their real intentions are. And I feel like you would be much more capable of having a peaceful or happy situation if this person with kind of unpredictable intentions were no longer in the inner circle or no longer had access to you. This person's lying to you about something that you consider to be resolved or okay. You've got the Seven of Wands and Judgment. I feel when you find out that this person has not been honest with you, that's the choice. If you are able to distance yourself from this person who doesn't deserve to be in your energy, your mood improves, your opportunities improve, the universe rewards you and takes care, looks out for you, right? Hey, Lemonade, how's it going? Oh, yeah, that could be. I like to put a little bit more of a positive frame on that, but hello, King Controller. How's it going? So, James, I'm wishing the very best year for you. There's someone who keeps you from being able to have the experience that you should have, and they're deceptive towards you. It's about creating a space away from this person. And I think you see things the way that they truly are this first quarter of the year. That would be going against my purpose, Holy Ghost. Hello, Karish. How are you doing? James, we're rooting for you. All right, so we've got, let me fix this. We've got Andrea up next. Andrea, I'm going to go with the Weird Cat Tarot. Current energy. So Andrea's been dealing with a Leo, and there's been an argument. What is that current energy with the Leo? Three of Wands in the reverse, the Star, the Queen of Cups, Ten of Cups. Aw. This is like I don't know what to do to make it better. The way I saw it in my mind was a child who had scraped his knee, but the Band-Aid wasn't big enough to actually help stop the bleeding. This is someone who's like, I don't know what to do to adjust how far things went. All I know is that I want us to be okay again. The Star is healing, right? This is someone who views you as the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Cups. That's you feel like home to me. I want my life with you. But I think there's I'm a little unsure of how to make things better. I don't know how to address this. The Chariot, the Queen of Wands in the reverse, Death, and the Sun in the reverse. I think this person's sad. This is I really messed up. I feel like I upset someone that I care about. I ran away from it. So is this person going to apologize? Yeah, I do feel like this is someone who's looking for the right time and the right way to apologize and make things right with you. Ah, okay. That does make sense. Because it had this strange, like, feeling a little bit new, but feeling like you'd known each other for a while. It's like, I don't want things to end again, basically, with that death card. So there's heartbreak here over worrying that maybe things won't get back on track. But I do feel like there is an incoming apology for you. And what about the current energy for Andrea in 2026? Good news. After feeling like things were unstable or headed in the wrong direction. So there's a risk here of, how do I say this? Okay, I'm going to use a silly analogy. Let's say that your lifelong dream has been to get on Price is Right. And my understanding of that is like you show up and you probably wait for a long time. And then if they like choose you, you get to go, but it's not like a guarantee, right? This is saying like, don't you dare leave that line. Don't you dare leave that like studio or whatever, because it's like right when you're thinking it's time to give up. If you had waited like another minute or two, you would have gotten what you wanted. So there's a risk here that you give up what you want by not giving it an extra little bit of time. Now, I don't really like saying those things because I do feel like a lot of people get stuck waiting for something. But I do feel like this has to do with the connection with the Leo, and also could apply to a friendship situation where, you know, maybe you get a little antsy or you feel like you just need to like make a decision. Give it a moment, be a little bit patient, because I feel like there's a better resolution with the world. Yeah. So I see things moving in the right direction for you, but there may be a few lessons where it's like they're testing your patience a little bit. And I think you're more patient than they give you credit for. All right, let's see what we've got for Baker. I sure hope it's going to, but let's ask. Will the harassing and attacking stop for Baker? Oh, yeah, that's not respectful. That's got to change. Hello, Mysterium. How are you doing? We have the Fool in the reverse, 4 of Swords. I feel like there's a change in location that happens in 2026, or denial of access. Will they continue to try to find a way to attack? Yes, but I see it being blocked in some way. Either like you change your number, you change your address, you know, shut down the social media account or something. But I feel like you take action that is strategic and it confounds them. They're like, oh no, I don't know what to do now. Sorry. 5 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles in the reverse, 10 of Swords. Yeah, I feel like you ruin their plans, or you make it more difficult for people to be able to mess with your energy. This could also be about your meditation, improving and focusing on protection. Baker, I don't know if you ever imagine like a white sphere around you as a layer of protection. But when I meditate, that's one of those things that I will do if I feel like I need additional protection, and that could be something that's very helpful for you. Because I do feel like you have energy that's not being used that could be very protective for you. So maybe a little bit of looking into meditation and techniques around protection. I feel like you have that ability, right? We have the Knight of Cups and the 2 of Pentacles. There is a positive offer or opportunity for you. I feel like this is around April timeframe, maybe March. and it makes you look around and realize that things are much more stable than they had been in the past. See how you're even balancing a pumpkin on your toe? It's pretty rad. So yeah, I see this year being very transformative for you. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next reading. Toodles.